Here we are. Welcome, welcome. Onboarding is the topic always when it comes to associations and membership, and it's really important to have that strong onboarding process when they start. They're never as excited as when they join. You want to catch them when they're excited about it, and it also takes 10 times as much work to attract a new member as to hold on to our members. We want to make sure that we hold on to them tight. Here we go. So what we're going to learn today, these are our key points. We want to make sure that you take a few things home. And we're going to have some action items for you as well. So we want to make sure that we go home knowing that onboarding is key to long-term membership relationships. How a member portal is the ideal solution to prevent member churn or member turnover, and how we're going to learn from that member churn to make sure that our offerings to our members who stay with us, that quality stays really, really high. Now, don't be shy. Please, please, please take yourself off mic and say hi and ask any questions. It's much more fun. This whole workshop is about engagement, and let's model engagement for our members. I'd love to hear your voices and see your smiles. And if you have any questions, you can also message in the chat, and we'll try to catch them at different points in the webinar. Okay, so how can Grype help? Who is Grype? You could have been anywhere today. You could have learned from anyone, and you chose to learn with us, and we really appreciate it. We have been working with associations and nonprofits for about 12 years now. We are a software company. We build websites, we build member portals, and we help our clients understand what digital solutions and marketing strategies are going to work best for them. And we love working with associations because we call ourselves a mission-driven company. We really love supporting the good work, the education, the advocacy that you do, and we love supporting your work. So one of the big things that we do with our clients is we don't just execute. You guys can find developers who will execute your vision. We often get people after that stage where they've realized, help, we're barking up the wrong tree, we're executing, but we need some help, and we help really understand your needs and your members and your stakeholders' needs and goals to really make sure that every investment you make, well, you will see dividends on the other side, and it will help make your association stronger. So a quick poll here from everybody. What CRM do you use to manage your member data? Feel free to share. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you guys are between CRMs or still using Excel or trying different things. I see something in the chat. Salesforce. Okay, that's good. Anyone else want to share what CRM they use? Dynamics 635. I have no clue. This is great. How do you store your data? How do you store your data? That's the question, right? So is your data stored in a way that's easily accessible to you, that you can easily see trend and then amplify where it's working for you and reach the people who are connecting with you? So we can talk about that here more after the session or in a workshop later. So let me close this up over here so that I can move on here. Okay. What is the new member experience like at your association now? So you're welcome to take yourself off mic and tell me, off mute that it is, or mention in the chat. What does it look like? Do you have a formal process? Are you doing human touch, or do you not do anything now? Do you have a member portal and expect them to explore? Do you do newsletters or emails? What is it looking like now? Or maybe you're just starting from scratch and ready to start the magic now. We'd love to hear from you. I'll keep my eye on the chat if anybody wants to share where they're up to.
I'll start here. This is Tina, and I'm with AC.
Yeah, sure.
In
Love
Alberta
to hear.
Here. This is something we're really trying to increase is membership enrollment, because we just started with a membership portal and it hasn't been successful. I don't know what membership. I'm just brand new to the team. Like, they asked if I could join this, so. But before it was only emails, and I do believe we kept it on all the memberships on an Excel spreadsheet. So we're just starting to move towards the online, because even before our membership was done, where you send in the membership paper, you mail it in, checks only. And now we're starting, just last year as we started the online payments, and we have a portal, like a membership portal, but it doesn't have anything in there yet.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you, Tina, for sharing. You're on a journey. We're going to help you. We're going to support you. Our next month's member webinar is all about the important things to put in your member portal to help that engagement. This one's about onboarding, but there'll be more next month. We're happy to meet you there and others as well. So I'm seeing here in the chat, yes, onboarding emails, staged once a week, currently revamping and rebuilding. Great. Onboarding emails, yes. All of our clients come to us and say the emails aren't working. And that's why we developed this, because we keep sending the same homework to our association. So we developed this webinar to share that knowledge with all of you as well. So let's get to it. Okay, so here's our 2 principles that I said at the beginning of the webinar, and I'll reiterate it here, that it takes 10 times the effort to get a new member, all the marketing and the changes and the whining and dining and answering emails, all that time and energy and cost. Whereas if we hold on to our new members and we get them when they're hot, and whether it's a new iPhone or a new car or a new gym membership, when you make that purchase, you purchased it because you're excited about it and you're invested in it. And that's when we want to meet our members right away. We had a question that was submitted by one of you before the session, which was, when do I reach out to people to onboard them? And the answer is right away, as soon as you can. Okay, so so the problems associations face. Let me move this like this. So members are not fully engaged. This is what everybody says, that the members are signing up, but ooh, their engagement levels are quite weak. How do we get those up? And that members don't use your benefits. Your team has assembled fantastic benefits. And those that use them know that they're great, but there's many that don't use them. Why is that? And members don't renew their membership. Everybody's dealing with this, and we are here to help you overcome these hurdles. Okay, so we're going to go through those 3 points together a little more slowly. Why aren't members engaged? Why aren't they joining us? And I'll tell you this, they do not know what's going on. They do not. They're not opening the emails. They're not reading the newsletters. We have associations that send, and then people say, we don't know what's going on, and that's frustrating. So what we've found is that the member portal is so fantastic because they can check in and they can find the information they're looking for when they want to find it. When we send them emails and we send them content, they may not be ready to open that email, and it gets buried under 100 more that day. So the member portal is great because they can connect when they want to. They don't know where to begin. This is very, very true. You have lots of benefits, many benefits. Sometimes they're complicated in the sense that they're sophisticated to engage in, and they just don't know where to begin. So we're going to help hold their hands. So they do need hand-holding. We had last week a fantastic podcast with Beth Brodowski, which we will share the recording on our website. And she talked so much. She's a member communications and engagement specialist, and she says onboarding is so important for so many reasons. People can feel like it's a closed club, or they don't know where to begin, or they feel not in the right group. And the onboarding process that we're going to help you develop is really going to help with that. Okay, number 2, why don't members use their benefits? They're there, they're fantastic. Those that use them rave about them. So why is their usage so low? They don't know what the benefits are. They really don't, I'm telling you. So many of our clients come to us and we do a member portal workshop with them, and we go through their navigation, and it quickly becomes clear. The pattern is that the associations set up their member portal sort of from their point of view, and they're familiar with everything. They forget that we need to build the member portal through the eyes of your users, so that it's very easy and user-friendly for them to use. This is something that we help our clients with all the time. And if they don't know what your benefits are, if they say they know what they are, but they're not using them, very often they really don't know what they are. Part of the homework that we're going to give you today is we recommend that you do surveys with your members and ask them about why they don't use the benefits and which ones they like, which ones they don't like. And you will see time and time again, when we ask our associations to interview just a couple of members just to get a feel of what's going on, they really don't know what the benefits are. So we have to do a better job communicating what our benefits are to our members. And they don't know how to easily access them. This is very, very true. For people who don't have a portal, there are links in emails, there are dates in newsletters. People have complicated lives and they really don't know how to access them. And a member portal really, really helps that. Okay, number 3. Why don't members renew their membership? Why don't they renew it? But let's ask a different question. Why did they join in the first place? This is such a powerful question because this asks what motivated them to join in the first place, right? And we have to ask, we can even ask them, and we're going to talk about that later. What needs of theirs were not met during their time as a member? What were they looking for that we weren't able to give them? This is key to providing value to our memberships. We always advise our clients, don't work harder, work smarter. Stop offering more and figure out what your clients and your members really, really need. Okay. So what have we learned so far? We're going to do a little recap here. You guys can give me a thumbs up, or I'm with you in the chat, or feel free to ask any questions. So we've learned that members need hand holding to get a confident start. This is true. If you go somewhere new, you can feel overwhelming, especially in the digital platform. Many of us as associations have members that aren't necessarily so tech savvy. We need to be able to easily tour our member benefits and to interact with them in a really, really easy way. And associations need to be aware of why members join so that they can meet their needs. You guys with me? Yes? Okay, great. Oh, there's a question here. Oh, sure, yes. We'll post the webinar after the fact. Okay, great. Okay, what themes do we see here? What's emerging for us? We see that people need support, easy access, and responsiveness. And one of the key messages that the CEO of our company always says is it's relationships, not transactions. When we ask our members to become a member, we don't want our interactions with them moving forward to be pay your next membership or pay for something. We want to show them that we are investing in them in the same way that they're investing in us. And when we set up an onboarding process for them, we're showing them we see you. We're not just running up here with our existing members. We see you and we're bringing you in, and we're creating that relationship. Okay, obvious problems. Human touch is expensive. Anybody who's here who has a small association but is ramping, or you have a huge association, you know it's just not possible to human touch and welcome and shake the hand of everybody who's coming. It's just not possible. What's the solution? A customized member portal. We see this time and time again. Our clients regularly report that through the amount of automations that are set up through a custom member portal that is integrated with a CRM that catches all the data, all of your event registration, all of your profile changes, everything that's done independently by your members, this reduces your cost. People are reporting to us that they save an entire salary. And if you're paying on average $50,000, let's say for a salary of somebody who works full time, that's a lot of money. And your portal to build that will be less than that. And that's ongoing savings moving forward. Now, something very interesting about a customized member portal that we like to bring to the attention of associations is that it really provides a more inclusive experience to all your members that have different accessibility and different accessibility issues, different needs. So we had I'll show you right here. We had a fantastic podcast 2 weeks ago with this amazing guest, David Birdman. He's an author, designer, and international inclusive design advocate, and a friend of ours. He's actually my cousin's childhood friend, and he is a UN special advisor to our Canadian government. And he is one of the global leaders talking about inclusive design online and everywhere. And we were talking with him, and he said, I've traveled the world, literally 20, 30 countries talking about inclusive design, and I never considered how important a member portal is to membership, to give accessibility to people who may not be able to participate in person, participate over the phone, participate. There's a lot more options you can do. And he said he was really, really impressed at how many more people you could include in your membership, which is great numbers up for you, and saves you money having to provide customized care for them without a member portal. Now, here's the question. We often get people say, but wait a second, I have a website. I have membership information on my website. We even have a login where if you sign in, it populates extra content. So this is great from your end in terms of storing all your data, but we can tell you from the user experience, it's a lot to take in. As associations, your stakeholders, it's very complicated. You have your board, you have your donors, you have your prospective members, you have your advocacy groups, you have your members, you have all kinds of stakeholders. And trying to divide up the real estate on your website is really, really complicated, right? So you can have You want to make sure your donors feel seen, but you also want your members and your prospects. And how are you going to juggle all that messaging? So we really recommend having 2 separate websites. Of course, they're connected. They can link back one to the other, but you're going to have your member portal where you can really cater all that content and that marketing, that membership marketing, and promote your benefits and your onboarding process to your members. And that saves up tons of real estate on your website for everybody else, for the whole world that wants to come see there. And you can really turn that into a marketing machine. We help our associations really ramp up their lead generation on their websites. Everybody with me? Any questions? I'd love to hear from you. So moving on. Okay, so you will design your portal to include the following things. Now look here, we're going to have a couple of action items that pop up here, so grab your pens and paper. Your onboarding, you're going to have onboarding videos and info talking about your benefits. You can have one of your staff members doing little 2-minute, 3-minute videos talking about each of your benefits and how they benefit your user. Even better, if you can get your association members who use the benefits to create these videos for you. That's less work for you, and it could be even a little promo opportunity for your partner members who want to be seen by your community. You can have, this is really good, share screenshots, screen share videos of how you actually technically access your benefits through your member portal. If you have association members who are a senior community or immigrant community or people who aren't very familiar with the internet, with the technology, this is so valuable and they really appreciate this. Those who don't need it won't watch. Those that do will really appreciate it. Now you want to have a member benefits hub, one page that lists all your benefits where they can go shopping and see all your benefits there. And you want easily access links. We see association websites all the time where there's content and promo and advertisers, and it gets a little bit lost. It's not so easy to find. So here's your action item. The next time you have a new member, get on a Zoom with them. Give them the tour of your benefits. Boom, there's your first onboarding video. It's as easy as that. You're providing that nice touch point to some of your members while also creating evergreen content for all your members. Okay, a custom member portal provides a perfect forum for members to generate additional free member benefits, right? So these are things that happen organically when the relationship with the member stops being between the member and the association and starts being member to member. This is where the magic happens. And you can encourage your members, you can have an area on your portal where they can set up their own meetups, their own committees, their own independent of the your association will facilitate their connecting with each other, but you're really going to see growth within the industry. So you can have a mentorship program where a more veteran member or a professional mentors a younger one, or you can have a buddy program where people are like, you know what, I don't want to really mingle with the people in a different sphere than mine. I want some on my own level, and you can pair them up and they can encourage each other and have accountability sessions with each other and brainstorm with each other. And this has been really powerful. And meetups and committees. This is great. Okay. What about members who still do not renew? I hope you can catch the theme here of my slide about turning lemons into lemonade. You're always going to have members who leave. This is what happens. They don't all stay. And it's really tricky because it's hard not to take it personally. You've worked so hard to make your beautiful association, to offer your benefits, and they're not going to stay. But don't worry, we're going to turn lemons into lemonade, and we're going to ask members who do not renew to meet with you for a quick 10-15-minute call. People are usually very happy to complain. They'll be happy to have this call with you and ask them what needs were not met. What did you like? What didn't you like? What did you use? What was noise? This is so valuable because if one person's saying it, they're probably not the only one. So this is really good feedback for you. There's nothing more valuable than feedback from someone who's actually used your membership. Okay, so here's your action item number 2. Grab your pens. Implement an exit process right now. This will not take more than a few hours. You probably don't need higher ups approval. Really plan to make some touch points for associations that have hundreds of thousands of members. You can't do it for everyone, but even doing it, making a point of catching a few people here and there with the time that you can afford to give, this is really valuable feedback. And what we want to tell our clients all the time is don't do surveys. Surveys do not give you a nuanced view of what's really going on. You can do scales of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, give them as many options as you want. These conversations are so valuable to really hear where was the hiccup, where was the glitch, what turned them off. Okay, recap number 2. Use it or lose it. Members who know how to use your benefits, they're the ones who use them. And members who use your benefits will experience the value of being a member, and they will be much less likely to renew. And we're going to make sure to have that exit process to learn from our member churn. Is everybody with me? Yeah? Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Okay, guys, we're ready. Your exit calls are already set up in your mind. You're excited about them. What am I missing? What's left to do? Big tip number 1, don't wait. Ooh, I think someone's making a little noise. Perhaps we can ask you to mute yourself. Oh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Okay, don't wait until the members expire. They're gone. Catch them before that. Depending on how your cycles work and how long your membership is, if you see in your, because we strongly recommend having your member portal connected to Civi CRM or other very powerful, detailed data management system where you're collecting data on attendance, on participation, on how many times people log into the portal with Google Analytics and all kinds of stuff like that that we can help you set up. You want to connect with the people who are not engaging. And again, for huge associations, it may not be possible to do human touch, but we can definitely help you automate this. And you can send out email, you can use Liquid, you can automate it to say, wow, someone hasn't attended an event or joined a member benefit in 3 months. We want to send an email. Hey, Chuck, noticed you haven't signed up. We'd love to ask you what you want to hear about. Okay, so here's your action item. Set up touch points during the year with your members, the ones that are not engaging. Find out what they want before their membership ends. Okay, and the best of all is if you start seeing patterns that people want onboarding webinars, they want onboarding information, give it to them. I'm making a joke, but if you have members who are telling you the same messages, if you create the next podcast, next workshop, next training, next meeting about those topics, suddenly they're like, wow, they're listening to me. They're really paying attention. I got to stick around because I can see that there's growth for me here. Okay, look here, you're on my slide. Look how fantastic you look. And here's what you're thinking. I get it, but I hear custom. It sounds expensive. It sounds like a lot. Where should we start? And we're here to help you. Okay, we believe that success starts with strategy, okay? You have to begin with the end in mind. In our experience, people who work for associations have the best hearts. They see big picture. They have everyone's best interest in mind. They're at the top. They're running the associations and their to-do lists are so long. We're here to help your hand on the strategy side, to help you with the tech, to tell you what the trends are, to tell you what's working. And when we plan with what our goal is, what do we want to get to? We really can make that roadmap to get there. We also recommend to build in phases. We're going to listen to you, listen to your goals, listen to all of your aspirations, all your benefits that you offer now and your dreams that you want. And we will not recommend that you bite all of that. We usually do a workshop with you and we decide what's high priority, low priority, what's really important. And we recommend building in a multi-phase strategy. This is really important because when you launch it to your members, there's nothing like real world testing. There's nothing like your members actually seeing it and seeing what they like and what works for them. And if you spent a crazy amount of money building this huge portal and it's not a success, it's really hard to take 2 steps back, to take 1 step back, to take 2 steps forward. So we recommend building in phases where you then launch the first phase, test the water, see what works, and then continue to build on it. With this strategy as well, your members are also feeling, wow, like this only gets better and better. Every few months, there's more improvements and more benefits. It's like when you climb a mountain, every time you get to the next plateau, your view of the horizon changes. So we recommend the same way, building in phases. And definitely echoing back to what I said before, talk to your members, no surveys, talk to them, ask them what's working for you, what didn't work. When you came, what did you enjoy? When you were on the portal, what didn't work for you? This is so important to do this regularly and the feedback is invaluable. Okay, when you have your portal, Now, our talk about what to include in your portal is really next month, and we welcome you all back for that. But I just put this slide here because we really had so many questions submitted from the people who registered. They said, what should be there? So this is an example of sort of a 3-stage development process that we would often recommend, where the first stage of development would be your operational. Here's where you're going to have where people can edit their profiles, perhaps edit a public profile, which is different than the one with the company. They can renew, they can update things. This is where, you know, those sort of housekeeping items are that you don't want them emailing you for, you don't want them calling for, and it's great if they can do that independently. This will free up so much of your team's time. In the second tier, we call it the growth phase. Here's where a lot of the magic happens here. We have your trainings, your webinars, your podcasts, your credits if your association offers credited programs. And here's where a lot of the learning happens. Now, at the ideal level, what we see is with really engaged members with a really sophisticated portal is what we call the self-actualization or the agency or the fulfillment, where people are really, they're motivated to give back, they're motivated to be engaged, they're creating their own benefits. People are really taking ownership and leadership roles, and it's at no cost to you. And these opportunities are fantastic to build your members' resumes, to build their portfolios, and to help their careers. Okay, path to success. So this is the client that I'm working very closely with now. They've been a long-time client of ours, the Writers Union of Canada. We wanted to bring them as an example. They did a workshop with us a long time ago, and they were not ready to launch a portal. They wanted to do just the website. We made website changes. That was the first phase. We're now in the second phase. We're building a beautiful, beautiful portal for them. And we're going to be starting now that they've taken all of their member content off their website. I can tell you that now with the content off their website, they still have 116 pages that they want to include in their new website build. They're writers. They love to write, and boy, are these huge projects. And then when we build with them, the process is very collaborative. We meet with you every week. We demo to you what we were creating. And even though the workshop is very thorough through the development process, because we do it in stages, so much opportunity for improvement is revealed as we go. Now I can show you their super cool portal. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll go there right now. I think I'm still screen sharing. This is the beautiful new portal we just made for them. It's gorgeous. So here it's very clear. If we have a special message for them that we want them to hear about an event or an opportunity or a discount or anything, you can put it here. Here it's very, very clear. Our events are very clear. For those of you who are familiar with accessibility, this is a very web accessible. Somebody who has mobility issues or is paralyzed, they're able to very easily just press their tab button or use an apparatus to very easily press tab to navigate each point here. And then here we have a sampling of member resources, very clear action buttons that they can use. And up here they have further more detailed stuff, but the navigation is super clean. Previously, when they came to us, they had drop-down menus, and their drop-down menus had drop-down menus, and those had a third level of drop-down menus. And we said, we got to clean this up, and we did. Let's go back to our presentation here. Is everybody with me? Any questions? Feel free to go off mute. I'd love to hear from you.
I have a question.
Oh, sure. I'd love to hear from you.
What is the largest organization? You don't have to name it, but what's the one of the larger organizations that you've worked with? Approximate membership size.
So we have members who are, we've worked with the Royal Conservatory, we've worked with the City of Ottawa, we've worked with Carleton University, we work with Sunbelt and FLIDA, which is an international company. We work with the Architects Association of Canada. In terms of exact numbers for each, I have a non-disclosure with a lot of them. I'm not able to say too much, but we've had the opportunity to really work with sophisticated projects. We can discuss it more in detail. I'd be happy to speak with you, but yeah, we do all of the work for. Anyway, we're very proud of our work. Yeah, I hope that answers your question in terms of listing some of our high profile clients that we work with locally here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it. So here we have Gaby, the project manager, managing all of the tech at TWUC, the Right Team Canada. And I can tell you, it's such a pleasure to be in these workshops and to watch people's eyebrows go up when we show them you can really ramp up here, 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 and eliminate the noise here, and it'll be so much easier for you. And yeah, we've had very positive long-term relationships with our clients. Okay, and the number one takeaway I want you to take home, many of your questions were around, how do I get them to engage? How do we get them to participate? How do we get them to stay? And the number one key question, let's all hold hands and say, value. We want to make sure that we know what our members want. What do they want for their careers? What do they want professionally? And when we can give them that, they will be coming to us. When they see opportunities open up for them, doors for them, advocacy for them, they will find us and we won't have to chase them. There will always be clients who leave us. There will always be, and there will always be clients who do not engage. There will always be a segment of people. My husband's a professional. My best friends are professionals. They are paying members of multiple associations. They will not go to one event. They will not click on one email, but they know that their dollars are going for good work. So feel encouraged, even if engagement is, if their engagement is low, as long as they're renewing, feel encouraged in that regard. Okay. David Birdman, my family friend and now friend of Gripe, he wrote a fantastic book called Do Good Design. And he calls upon designers and really the global community. He says in such an impassionate way, he says, we are living in an age where we can really make the world accessible to everybody. And he says, I want to encourage everybody to donate 10% of their time to give back what they know to other people. So in the spirit of this, we would like to offer some of our time to associations because we really do believe in what you do. And when we see who comes to us, you know, we're working with the Midwives Association, or we're working with important people who are doing very important, or you're all doing valuable work. And we really want to be able to get you on the right foot. And there isn't always a budget member portal right now, but we still want to keep in touch and support you. And we offer a 1-hour audit of your member portal. We'll meet with you, we'll go through, this is a sample screenshot here that I put here in the background of just the kind of questions we go through with you of how easy it is to access everything. And are those key elements that you want in your portal all there? And you will then leave this 1 hour with a little homework sheet of what you can do, hopefully some action items on your own, and we'll be here for you if you want further help with that. So for those of you who want to talk tech, I can definitely talk tech with you. It's might be over some of our heads, but hold on, you're going to become experts in about 2 minutes. You're all probably familiar with WordPress in terms of a system to build websites. There are definitely template softwares out there, Squarespace and all these template ones where you can build your own website. The problem with those build your own is that just like any sort of paint by number app on your phone or a coloring sheet your kids plays with, the customization isn't there. It's really limited. You're really not able to create the user journey that you want. You want them to do onboarding first before they go here. You want them to get to this level of training before they get here. You can't really customize that well. And while we do support WordPress, we do build in WordPress, it's cheaper to do WordPress upfront. There are more costs later on. We recommend using Drupal. This is really for us the gold standard. It's super secure. It doesn't get hacked. The code is super clean. It rarely breaks. And there is more upfront cost at first, but your maintenance cost is much less. And in terms of your data management, we always work with City CRM. We just find clients complain if they use anything else, and this is just the gold standard. Our company does free quickie demos, 15-minute demos about City CRM just to show you. You can totally customize everything to interface. You can change the word donor for sponsor in the interface. You can change the word cost for investment, everything. You can change the word member for, you can change anything in there, not to mention how you save your data and what fields you want and how you store your data and the reports you pull up. I don't work for City CRM, but I'm just saying it really, really helps to have a really clean way to store your data. And when it's integrated well with your portal, the sky's the limit in terms of what you can do. If you have any questions about tech, I'm happy to help answer. And before you go, you're always welcome to stay on and talk with me. I'd love to answer your questions. I could even address some of the questions that were shared before the session, but I'd love to hear. You're welcome to post in the chat or go on your mic and share. Were there any ideas shared today that would help you? We'd love to hear your feedback. For us, getting feedback is the most valuable thing you can get. And we hope that some of the action items today were useful for you. Anything that motivated you today that you want to share with us?
I'll share my reaction to your suggestion that we don't send surveys out.
Oh, I didn't say not to. I didn't say not to.
No, okay. I guess I misheard. So
Yeah.
it is really a good thing then to send surveys.
Surveys are useful, but they only go so far. So if I say to my kids, do you want meatballs or lasagna for supper? Right? I've given them a very closed list. But if I have a conversation and I get them talking, the sky is the limit, and you can also zoom in. They can say, I didn't like that. What didn't you like about it? Right? So was it the speaker or was it the chair? Was the chair uncomfortable? Right? Or was the lighting bad? Or was the material too low level? So asking, I think we can talk more about it like after the session or make an appointment, but we really work with our clients to make a dialogue with your members that really unearths what the issues are, because you have members who are using your benefits and they love them. So what's the barrier for people who don't? I think that's where the conversation piece comes in. Is that helpful for you?
Yeah, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share? Anyway, we'd love to keep in touch with you. I'll leave this slide up. You're welcome to email us. We're going to be we can follow up with you on LinkedIn, where we post all of our events there. We usually have a couple of events a month, learning events. Our podcasts are fantastic. Like the podcast guests that come to us, like we've been doing this for 10 years and we learned so much from our guests, and we've developed a really great community of speakers, and we'd love to hear from you. I think that, did we share in the chat? Did we share in the chat the link to book the 1-hour audit? Nikki, was that shared?
I will be sharing it right now.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? If people are shy to go on mic, I can review some of the questions that were asked before the session. We had some really fantastic questions. Shall I proceed with that, or anybody else want to ask their own question? Yeah, we should keep going with some questions here from our wonderful attendees who asked beforehand.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great. So one of the questions that was asked was, what is the most effective email cadence for onboarding members as well as keeping them engaged? We heard this from Diane, from Alexandra, from Danielle. How many emails to send? Okay, so people, there's a balance here, and it's very hard to answer. I'm asking this question, I don't have a specific answer, but so many people asked that I wanted to address it, that it depends on your members, who they are, their age, what they're looking for, what you're offering. I can't really give a custom answer without really meeting with you, and our workshops really go through all these things in detail. But people who are telling you you're sending too many emails, Ezra Firestone is the industry expert on email marketing. And he says, anyone who tells that to you doesn't understand how email marketing works, okay? So email marketing works for people who want to open those emails. The trick is getting people to want to open the emails. And when your emails are customized for the recipient, they open them, right? So when the bank sends an email that's generic, I don't open it. But when the email is for me and my account, I open it. So there's a way to create your emails to sort of, really segment them well and really time them well. And the details there really depends on your offerings. I can't really answer exactly, but it's don't let people tell you, oh, it doesn't work, don't do it, I don't open them, discourage you. It is an important part of marketing. The best thing is really to get them when they want to find you, and that's where the portal comes in. So one of the good questions we had is, other than ability, one second, pardon me here. What is the best time to check in with your members? Immediately, as we recommended here in this workshop, immediately, as soon as you can, catch them when they're excited. Now, what's your biggest success story when it comes to member retention? Okay, when it comes to member retention, we have some really good success stories. We work with, very often our associations come to us and they have little to no lead generation on their website, little to nothing. They don't have any lead magnets. They don't have any checklists. They don't have any way to capture the people who come to their website. They don't have Google Analytics set up. So when you're able to capture who's finding you, you can then find them, and you can sort of communicate with them better and get them, that you'll have way more likelihood of joining. We have members who report, I don't even know how to say how many, hundreds and hundreds of times. If they were getting 1 a week, they're now getting 20 a week. If they were getting 100 a week, now they're getting 200 a week. That's been really helpful. Oh, this was a good question. What's the best approach to successfully onboard a hybrid membership where you have corporate clients and individual clients? So we work with this all the time. We have your members and we have your prospective members, and where does that real estate fit on your website? So we recommend splitting it up, because you're offering 2 different things to the prospects than the actual members, right? So when it comes to corporates and individuals, your corporations are not corporations. They're also individuals. They're also people, right? So you're also marketing to that person who's making the decision. So the question is the person who's making the decision on behalf of the corporations, are their interests and goals the same as the individual? Now, if those goals are the same, you can share one platform. You can share that website. If those goals are different, it's likely you will need to either, create a site map that has 2 sort of spaces on your website, one for your corporate, one for your individual, or you can create 2 different websites depending on how, like right now we're in talks with, we're learning a lot about we're in a fact-finding stage now with the Association of Midwives, and they say they have 2 separate websites that they manage, 2 separate URLs, one for the public, one for their members. Okay. What other questions do we have here? What ways would you recommend to measure engagement for new members? We got this question a bunch of times, for example, from David and Susan. I wonder if you're still here. I see your names here. So they said, so what are ways to measure? Okay, so the best way to measure, first of all, you have to decide as an association, what goals and milestones do you want to see your members make, right? So that we can work with you to help you decide that and determine that and measure that and tweak that to make sure you're able to see your numbers where you want them to be. You have to figure out where you want them to be, but you also have to, if they're using your benefits, if you're going to your events, and if they're opening your emails. These are key ways. In the key ways that you engage with them, are they meeting you halfway, right? So those are the key ways to measure engagement. If you're engaging with them in other ways, then use those as your parameters. Well, we can discuss it more in a workshop. This was an interesting question, a very interesting question. How can we motivate prospective members to attend our orientation session? So we always lead with value. We really recommend you do the same. We don't recommend sort of being like one of those, buy a condo in Florida, come to our sessions and we talk you into it and sort of like browbeat you into this wonderful opportunity. We recommend offering value. And from the value, you can then show your worth and show what you offer and sort of like weave, by the way, you can be a member and get even more of this wonderful value if you join us. So it's a very good question. We don't recommend sort of like a salesy, join us so we can tell you how great we are approach. It's hard to convince people, to convince them to be convinced. But if you can offer value, what interests them, then you should be able to build a relationship with them. And I think that's going to be it for today.